Here we are again, episode 3 of discussing our core exercise program. I'm Dr. Ryan, Straight Up Spine and Posture. Today we're going to be talking about the third thing that we're looking for. Again, to overview, we're looking for endurance in the form of a spider plank and dynamic control in the form of a dead bug. You can go check out those videos, they're posted separately. Today we're going to be talking about strength. This is a very particular exercise called a reverse ham trap curl, okay? This is developed by a famous doctor, Dr. Yanda. He's responsible for the general concept of the crossed syndrome, whereby you'll have loose muscles, you'll have tight muscles, then weak muscles, that general concept. And so that's led to a lot of people believing that the core is the root cause, which I don't agree with, but it's very important to have a strong core. So again, don't just focus on the core, you need to focus on the hips too. We'll be covering that in future videos, so be sure to check those out if you're only doing your core. However, the strength component is important because it resists extension, which is a common movement fault that we'll see particularly in a population of back pain. So if you have back pain, this is important. Now, in this one, we do have the ability to hyperflex or to round the spine too much. That's why sit-ups are a garbage exercise. What we're doing is, there is a little bit of risk of hyperflexion. We want to avoid that. So we want a smooth movement here, okay? What we're trying to do with this one is something technical. We're trying to inhibit the psoas muscle, which flexes the hip. We don't want that. We want hip extension with the glute, and we'll do that separately. But for this one, we want the lower abs. So not like the 4-pack, again, the 6 and 8-pack, the transverse abdominis. That's what we want to get. And the way that we're going to do that is in a reverse curl, where instead of bringing the body towards the knees, we're going to bring the knees towards the body, okay? What you need to do this is something to hook your arms onto. That could be the edge of a couch, a bed, a railing on stairs, under a door, whatever, right? We have a fancy machine here. You probably don't have that, so just figure it out. The other thing that you'll need is a pretty simple equipment. This is a 4-inch inflatable play ball. 4-inch. You can get these on Amazon for very cheap. If you see them on therapy sites or whatever, they're $20. That's ridiculous, okay? So it's a 4-inch inflatable play ball. I promise you they're the exact same thing, okay? So let's dive into it. What you're gonna need is 2 of these, and then you're gonna lay on your back like so. You're going to put these under your knee and actively squeeze, not rest, actively squeeze hard. When we squeeze it hard, we'll induce a phenomenon known as reciprocal inhibition, whereby you cannot flex opposing muscles at the same time. You could flex your bicep, or you could flex your tricep, but you cannot flex both, otherwise your elbow's straight. You flex your quad and your hammy at the same time, your knee is straight, the knee is bent, ergo, you're flexing your hamstring, not the psoas, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're not going to stick the knees together, that's cheating. Our starting position, so we're gonna keep them separate. Our starting position is that the legs are relatively straight up and down. So for example, bring it down. This is no good. So you're too far back, right? So we wanna keep it, that's a good starting position right there. Then we're gonna actively squeeze, and we're going to curl from the bottom up. So go ahead, we're gonna curl it up, we're gonna pause, we're gonna slowly come back down and stop right there. So that's what we're looking for. A lot of people are gonna wanna bring that all the way down. That's no good. Okay, so we keep it here. Is a smaller movement is more appropriate. Okay, so let's do a couple here. We'll bring it up, pause, we'll come back down, right? And as he's doing this, you'll see there's some shaking. That's because these are hard. They're supposed to be hard. They're building strength. This is high load, right? So these are how you develop big abs. Abs are made in the kitchen, as they say, but this is a good way to get that strength from the bottom up, okay? So what we're looking for here is maybe 3 sets of 15, something in that ballpark, and they should get pretty easy. Now, another common fault that we'll see is people will curl and then they'll pike. This is no good, right? So we just want this small, gentle movement, and then, exactly, that's what we're looking for. And then we'll see a lot of people will hike and kind of use their inertia, so a quick movement, and then those flap, right? That's no good. And then the other thing that we'll see is people will come down, they'll kind of get back to this position, and then they'll kind of arch their back as it goes down. This is gonna hurt your back. Don't do that, okay? So if you have a propensity to arch your back already, probably because you have back pain, might be why you're watching this video, don't do that, okay? Go ahead and relax here. So that's the basic movement. We call it a reverse ham trap curl. It's a modification of Dr. Yanda's original kind of idea around that called the Yanda curl. You'll see that sometimes where you use a band and do like a more traditional sit-ups. You can look on that. I know there's a post on T Nation about that, for example. So this is a great exercise. Again, so the third part, the strength component, so that's what we're looking for, okay? Check out those other videos that we have again about endurance and dynamic control. And then again, it's not all about the core, you need the hips too. So go check out our other videos that we're gonna post shortly about the hips, particularly the glutes.